Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday evening, 6 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. It's so nice that everybody in the group is saying hi, greeting everybody. This is so kind of you. Really makes me feel very, very special. And it will also make you feel special when somebody says hi to you. Once again, can't you believe it's been a week since we've been together, and another broadcast is coming this way tonight, and I'm so excited about what's going to happen tonight. Tonight I have my fellow assistant. Right, I don't need any artificial jingles. You will always know that I've got all my assistants and aides here with me to brighten up my time here with each and everyone here tonight. So everybody, welcome here, welcome. I hope you feel all relaxed and that we're going to have an awesome time here tonight. Remember, as we always say and do, comment below. Your input is very important. It gives me an idea of the trend, of the direction that I'm going to go tonight. So your input is valuable, very, very important. Lucky to have all you here. All the familiar faces. I can't say, I don't dare say old faces because that might be perceived as an insult, but familiar faces. You're so welcome. And the new faces here, welcome here tonight. May you have just a harmonical time. Yes, Colleen, you are right. Harmonical time, a harmonious time here together with everybody here, a fellowship, a community of care, a community of love and radical acceptance, a community of zero judgment. You know, here you are free to be yourself and to absorb and learn, because on this platform you learn stuff that you won't learn anywhere. It's very unique. It's very unique of what we are sharing here tonight, and tonight's going to be no exception. So everybody, ja, wie is oud? Marine, ons. You are as old as you believe. You know, when people say start acting your age, I never know what they mean. Start acting your age. I'm now 60. Next week I'm turning 61. How is someone supposed to believe when I'm 61? Must I mean anything like that? No, my goodness. 61. I define the definition, the meaning of 61, and it's an awesome 61. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're having a fun time here tonight, and this is your time. My highlight of the week, my highlight of every week is being here on this platform to help you to understand, to transcend, to shift, the paradigm shift, the quantum leap. We are talking about the quantum leap, not frog leap. We are talking about the quantum leap, the leap into the domain of all possibilities. Although it's the domain of unknown, but it's the domain of all possibilities. 16 forever. Yes, Marie. So true. So true. Right. So what is it, what we are doing in this platform, what makes it so special and unique? It's a time to unwind, to relax and to reflect and to just reset yourself for the week that lies ahead, to reposition yourself for what's about to happen this week and to get yourself strategically positioned for what lies ahead in this coming week. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to share with you the topic for tonight. The topic, I think you all have seen it on Facebook. What you can expect tonight is nothing else than... Oh, wait. Nothing else than... the metal that I've bended with my bare hand, the power of the mind. The topic, back to the topic of breaking free, with the subtitle, Why Chains Feel So Hard, and how to shift instantly. Yes, instantly. That's the whole idea of tonight. And once again, what's the tagline? The tagline is, why chains feel so hard and how to break through. How to break through. Right, let's see tonight. How many of you are currently in a situation that you feel, I'm stuck. I don't know how to get out of it. I'm stuck in the mud, like a motor car stuck in the mud, and the more you spin, the deeper you get into the situation. It's quite muddy. So think of any situation, financial, muddy situation, relationship, work relations, health related, anything. Let's see, whatever it is, what you are struggling with, and you say tonight, Jeff, I am stuck. I'm stuck and I don't know how to get out of it. So that's it. Before we carry on, just want to remind you, last week some people battled to get the audio. If that's the case, just log out of your Facebook and reset your Facebook, refresh it, and then you will get the real page. Okay? So, yeah, be honest. Is there anyone here you don't know? If you're Arthur or Martha, you don't know where you're coming and going. You are so stuck up to here, in the muddy situation. If that's you, welcome to tonight's presentation, live broadcast, transmission. This is your time where I'll speak to you about the concepts that you can apply to get breakthroughs in many cases, even instantly. And this is what we are going to do tonight. We're going to do it tonight. So, are you ready for the topic of you want to break free? However, sometimes you may say to yourself, oh, it feels so hard to break through. How on earth will I do it? Oh, Mari, I agree with you. I'm not stuck. That is the thing. I'm as free as a bird, having the time of my life. Yes, you used to be stuck, and you know that feeling of stuck, but that's gone, that's past. And I love the testimony that you are sharing with people here in this group, of giving them hope that the stuff that we are sharing here indeed is working. Right. So it's been 8 minutes now that I've been speaking here and waffling, and now I need to get to the real stuff here tonight, to get into the main things. I'm going to start with the first slide to introduce to you the meat of tonight, what you can expect from this transmission tonight. The main reason why people are stuck is this. They've got a strong identification with their limiting beliefs. They sit there, and the law of familiarity says it's rather to be with the devil than a devil you don't know. And so what happens, people unknowingly define themselves by their limiting beliefs, making feel like letting go would mean losing their identity. They're so used to this anxiety. They're so used to this muddiness. They're so used and stuck into this unhappy relationship that they're in, that they can't imagine themselves free. They don't know what it is. They've never experienced freedom. They've never experienced the idea of being your own boss. They've never experienced to move to another town, country. They've just stuck there, and they have been programmed. And this is how they unknowingly, subconsciously define themselves, by their limiting beliefs. Settling for second best. They believe circumstances. I'm going through a very difficult time. The circumstances is against me. But you know what I'm saying, and I want to repeat it again tonight, especially for our newcomers here, that circumstances do not matter. It's your state of being that's the matter. Sink it in, let it sink in. Circumstances don't matter. It's not your circumstances. Don't blame it on your circumstances. If you wanted to blame it on your circumstances, be like a child. Because a child happiness is very dependent on circumstances. But as we mature, and I'm talking about emotional intelligence, I'm talking about emotional maturity, you're going to have to embrace the reality that circumstances do not matter. It's only our state of being that matters, and we can change that before our circumstances will dare to change. before your environment will shift, I need to shift first from within. In other words, that your circumstances, the reality reflects what we believe to be true, whether it's on a conscious or on a subconscious level. And because of that situation that we believe circumstances determine a lot, we have no control over our thinking, it's all dependent on fate. And this is where you're going to have to learn to question your assumptions about your circumstances. I want you to view your circumstances tonight and to question them, the assumptions that you have built around it. And that's the question I'm going to ask you. Do you truly know something is impossible, or do you just believe it is? And this is what happens. We are so stuck in this whole idea of our limiting beliefs. You see, beliefs create perceptions, and perceptions define our experience of our reality. And this is how important it is to become aware, absolutely aware of your limiting beliefs that is causing you to have a lens to look at your circumstances, to look at around, not to look at reality. Your view create reality. So the measure, in other words, of change is not when the outside changes, when your circumstances changes, but when I respond differently to the outside. Even when they still look the same, even when my circumstances are still intact, it still looks the same, but I am changing from the inside. Then, listen, the outside will change. The outside will follow. Are you hearing me tonight? Because this is something that adults do not want to hear, who are stuck. They hope and pray. I hear sometimes in religious circles, oh God, you must come through for me. I'm not so sure how that must happen. The manifestation is supposed to happen inside. It's inside. It's not on top. It must not come from the outside. It's an internal awareness that must happen first before the environment can change. So before I can see my environment and my circumstances change, I must change. Before I can step out into the idea of someone this week in the group said, I want to start my own business. You're going to have to first become the embodiment of a business person. You must first manifest it before it can happen outside. Too many people wait for the circumstances to change first. They hope for the best, they hope for luck. And luck is a dangerous thing because it may or may not happen. And this is where we realize that luck is actually the manifestation of an inner awareness of me changing my perception about my life. And then my external environment actually just is a reflection of my inner world. Not the other way around. And this is what we need to take responsibility for in order before we can change. And too many people want to apply the law of attraction, for instance, and it's not working. Then they don't believe in this stuff. You see, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. I do not attract what I want. I attract what I am. This is what I attract. This is my magnetic force. This is what I attract to myself. And when we look at our circumstances and you blame your circumstances, then you must understand it's not the circumstances that's causing your state of being. The circumstance is just a reflection of my being. And listen, I'm talking adult stuff tonight. Children and kids externalize their problem, their situation, because they're still children, like a person with road rage, anger management problems. The reason why people have road rage problems is because they blame that other person who makes them feel the way they do. You make me angry the way you drive. You make me angry if you give me a zap sign. Because children are like that. And then they throw their toys off the cot and they behave like a child. But the idea of maturity to see manifestation in your life, fruit, change in your life, is not to live in retaliation, not to live in that because that person gave me a zap sign in the traffic, this is how I feel. That person has ruined my day. And because of that mindset, we allow circumstances to dictate our being instead of you need to understand the power inside of you is so magnitude of power that you have the ability to influence your environment by either ignoring the other driver who's giving you the zap sign. Did I give you? No. Greeting you with the wrong side of the hand, choose the finger. That, that kind of thing. Where that will not determine our state of being, but rather that I am deciding how I will respond to it. Because I've dealt with the child within me, not to be offended by what that person is doing to me, because you've learned in a previous broadcast that emotions is only a record of the past. So if you lose your temper, if you lose it, you feel offended, you're not offended by what just happened to you. You're offended by a record of the past, something similar to what this situation reminds you of, and you haven't dealt with it yet. You haven't dealt with that. And that's why you need to do. You just need to understand this concept. So, one of the ways how I have learned not to allow circumstances to determine my state of being is to have my grounding tools with me. And that's why I love to have my harmonica with me, because you can say something to me, wada, 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 wada. You know what I will do? I change my state of being. This is just my way, the Jeffness, the Jefficity, So what is the Mariness, the Matumelu, who else is here? Oh, the 𝐲𝐬𝐿𝐬ness, the Nadimenicity that you have in you, Mariskalicity, Mariskalicious, that's who you are. The way you are, in your way, how you ground yourself, not to allow your circumstances to determine your state of being. A simple thing like this. Just grounding me, say, you are not going to ruin my day because you're not going to stay rent-free in my mind. I have decided to determine my state of reality. My inner state, I will preserve at all costs, and you will not steal my peace. You can't unless I allow it. Are you getting at what I'm trying to say? We are so indoctrinated and programmed by believing that circumstances dictate how we feel. And unfortunately, many mindsets, like in the politics and many religious beliefs, has got to do with we need something from outside to come upon us. A pie in the sky. When you're dying in a sweet by and by, one day circumstances will be better. And this is what I'm saying to you tonight. No. We can't operate like that, to live in a postponement mentality. And that's why people don't change, because they wait for circumstances to change. They wait for better days. And because of that, nothing happens. They remain stuck. Low notes. The low notes. They start a day on the low note because they wait for circumstances to change, and then they will be happy. That's why so many people are playing the lotto. Tonight is the night. Tata my chance. Tonight is my chance. Ooh, I just feel like the stars is aligned. Last week, 6 of the planets were aligned. Oh, now I must go to the casino. This is my lucky night, And then when they go and they lose everything because they place their hope on external circumstances. Disappointment upon disappointment then happens. Am I speaking to the right audience, ladies and gentlemen? Are you with me? Are you awake here tonight? Are you having a cup of coffee and tea? And even if you have something stronger, I'm not there to judge you, but nevertheless, I trust that you are enjoying the moment here with me, the one and only. Yes, Yolanda, welcome here tonight, Yolanda, for the first time. I know you for so many years. Welcome, welcome, welcome here tonight. And yes, triggers is something, if I have time tonight, I would like to speak to you about it, because triggers is something external happening to you, but actually why you are triggered by it, because of something in the past. Like emotions is a record of the past. And unknowingly, the situation is just to trigger the activation moment event, like the 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬 situation scenario I gave you. But that's not the real thing. It reminds you of unsettled business, unfinished business in the past that we are still dragging into the present equation, and that's why we don't change. And that is what we need to learn to take responsibility for. And yes, 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 I just see yeses a lot here tonight. Goodness, and that's, yes, why can somebody perhaps say amen? You can even say amen if you want to do it. It feels like a charismatic sermon I'm producing here tonight. But nevertheless, right, so all of you, I hope you're enjoying the time here tonight. And so let me move on. So the first person idea was when we have a strong attachment with our limiting beliefs, and that we're going to have to question these assumptions, and so that we can really adjust it and change it. But that's not the end. I'm moving it on. I'm turning the screws very, very tight tonight. I'm tightening it tonight. But I'm having you with me. You know, I'm not leaving you behind. So here comes the next idea that I want to share with you, following the strong identification with limiting beliefs. And if you want to understand what limiting beliefs are, please go to our previous 7-8 episodes where I gave you so many examples of limiting beliefs, which you will find on our YouTube channel, The Ancient Master. Right, let's move on to our next point, and here it is. Oh my word! When you still live in the idea of circumstances determine your happiness, you're in trouble. Because once you have ascended above that you understand, it's my state of being that determines my reality. You come to the realization you can deceive the uninformed masses, but not those who seek knowledge. Does it make sense? You can deceive the uninformed, but not those who seek knowledge. And what we are doing tonight, we are searching for more knowledge in order to experience the higher life, the higher conscious that we are accessing, instead of just reacting to our lower conscious. What's the next point? The fear of the unknown is another issue. Dankie, I get a few amens there in the group. Well, thank you. The fear of the unknown is another issue. You know, the ego. Oh, your ego craves familiarity. And because of that, it equates predictability with survival. You don't change because you live in the domain of predictability, familiarity. I rather wanted to stay here in my corner. I don't want to take any chances. Oh, you must know the world outside is dangerous. I must first work at my company, and one day when I'm 65, then I will retire, then I will do my things that I'm going to be happy about. You know, that kind of postponement mentality, fear of the unknown. They rather stay with the miserability of the present moment. You see, people often fear that the unknown will be worse than the current reality that they live in. And because of that, they don't desire any change in their lives. And this is all our broadcast has been about, to embrace the domain of the unknown, the field of possibilities, the quantum field of possibilities. And once again, we are tapping into that tonight. Okay, yes, I love that saying, you can't deceive a knowledge seeker. Hey, you know of something better, you're in a different category. When once you know more. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. So, that's the whole idea. What's the solution? That recognize that uncertainty is not dangerous. It's the field of infinite possibilities. And that's what I want to encourage you tonight, to embrace the unknown as a field of infinite possibilities in your life and not to give up on yourself. Does it make sense? And this is the whole idea of this broadcast tonight, to say, okay, I can change, but I need to stop fear the unknown. And I want to repeat it tonight to say that the measure of change is not when the outside changes, but when I respond differently to the outside, even when or if they still look the same. Then the outside will change. The unknown. First, I must change. I need to change, and I need to get rid of my rigid expectations of how things are supposed to be, because rigid expectations create resistance. That's why I remain stuck, because we sit with rigid expectations. I hope, for instance, my circumstances will change, but I am doing zero about it. I am stuck in my situation, but I don't have a vision how to get out of it. That's an example of rigid expectation. So therefore, you see, the problem then is, and I repeat it again, because of the fear of the unknown, we keep on attracting not what we want. It's not, we are attracting what we are. And this is what I want to encourage you tonight, because you can change it. Okay, so let's move on to the next point before I'm going to not be able to finish tonight. Right, you want to change. You can change. You can change. And if this is what you are committed to, well, here we are tonight. Here it is. You've seen this slide before. Does it ring a bell? For those of you who are tuned in for the first time, just have a look at this picture. The past, the present, the future. And because the fear of the unknown, the future, we remain stuck in the memories of the past, the limiting beliefs, through painful experiences that we've had in the past. And that's why we say the future is dangerous. We're afraid of the future. We stress and we have anxiousness about the future. And the problem is, this creates the mind programming scenario that we are trapped in as humans, the predictability, the past and the future connected. The future is a manifestation of the past. We don't change because yesterday is exactly as tomorrow, and tomorrow will be exactly as yesterday. Remember, I said last week that 90% of the thoughts that most people think today is the same thoughts that they thought yesterday. So today they're just only thinking the same thoughts as tomorrow. And that's why they don't ever change. They are stuck into this predictable future reality. Their belief systems is based on their past experiences, and they're not even ready or willing or aware of the possibility that we can actually change our belief systems. We can change immediately if we want to change. If we want to, if we become aware of what we would like to change. The problem is, when you are trapped in this past-future scenario, and many of you will relate to this picture, what do you see? Overthinking. This is the best picture I can demonstrate to you about how overthinking looks like. Ruminating over and over, you're going around the same thing over and over, like a dog chewing its bone. And what happens? You don't change because you are just thinking the same thing over and over. When we think about the past, how could I? Oh, I'm so stupid. I live with regrets and bitterness and unforgiveness. The pain of the trauma. Oh, that person have done me in. That person have stolen from me. So what happens? You and I live in the past, the ruminating of the past, the ruminating thoughts of the future. What if? What if that happens? Safe? What if? The what if scenario is then something that will cause people not to move out of reality, of their reality. So they can't shift into their new reality. They don't. They just stay in this reality of overthinking. And tonight I want to make you aware of your overthinking thoughts, especially those thoughts that keep you awake at night, those worrying thoughts, whether it's past or future. Here's the next point about change. It comes to your emotional and vibrational momentum. Right. Your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, actions, that's a vibrational signature. It's your vibrational energy that you and I are radiating day and night, consciously or subconsciously, that keeps attracting the same experiences. You see that loop in the previous slide that I've explained to you? We carry it from the past to the future the whole time. And that's why people don't change. Though, no matter how toxic it is, they are so familiar with the toxicity and so used to it that they don't get out of it. You see, if you keep reacting the same way, more and more you are reinforcing the same frequency, the same experiences, which in return will keep you stuck in this loop that I'm speaking about. And there is a solution tonight, ladies and gentlemen, friends and everybody. There is a solution to shift realities. You need to create a new vibrational state that aligns with your desired future. And more about that. You're going to have to do it. Listen, your circumstances will not change if you make a shift. You need to generate a new vibrational state before it manifests. Before it manifests in your life. Otherwise, resistance will remain. And that's why people do not change. Okay? Is it making sense to you? And I know for some people here tonight, maybe it's a hell of a breakthrough. No, a heavenly breakthrough, not a hell of a breakthrough. It's let me just rephrase it. It's a heavenly breakthrough, realizing that change actually is possible if I change first. I need to change. And what I want to show you tonight is how we can change so that we can see the results, the fruit, the benefits, the change, the desired change in our lives. And what are those changes? And I need to be the embodiment of change. This week, I spoke to someone, for instance, who wanted to be a professional dancing school that she wants to start. I say, you need to first become the embodiment. The way you walk, the way you talk, you first need to manifest it yourself before you can enter that. Otherwise, it will always be a future scenario. You first need to become that individual. You first need to become that power before you can see it manifesting. And that's the power of how it works, the change that we can have in our lives. Right. And the problem is, sometimes somebody else is trapped in the past. How do we help them? They need to tune into this channel. If they don't want to tune into a channel like this to educate themselves, they will not change. You can't drag them to change. They need to be willing to change, to come and listen, to educate themselves. Some people, they just want the change. I want the money. Give me the money, money, money. Give me the happiness. I want that. I ask people many times, what do you want in life? I just want to be happy. No, that's not enough. What is it? What your purpose in life is, your highest excitement is to manifest the happiness inside of you. Then you become the embodiment of change. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so that's why many people want change, but they're not willing to put in the effort. They're not willing to put a Sunday night in like what you are doing here tonight. And you can't drag them to change. They would like to change. Like for instance, none of you in this group, none of you, I've invited you, but I didn't drag you. I didn't plead with you, please come. It's your choice. You are here by choice. So is it with the other people who are trapped in the past. They need to be educated. They need to be educated. And only through our own education we can awaken, because this stuff I'm sharing with you, your mama and your papa didn't taught you this stuff, because most of them were living in their predictable future past scenario. They were just manifesting that, and you are desiring not to be like them. The moment when you become aware of this predictable future loop between past and future, you have already created the change, the awareness. So also what I'm saying is that when there is awareness, the lights go on. And this is what's happening in this group. The testimonies of people already applying these principles is just phenomenal, how they can bring it about, the change in their lives. Okay? So invite them more, even if they want to watch the previous videos, because this stuff is quite new. Many people speak this business, but they speak it in a harsh, almost judgmental way, and people don't get it, and then there's resistance. My approach to help you tonight is with so much gentleness. I help you where you are at, and even if you still feel like a victim in your circumstances, I'm not going to judge you, because this is where you are at. Maybe you feel like a baby, like a child, still being surrendered to your circumstances, a baby being very dependent on adults and someone around them to protect them. Someone outside must help them, must be securing them for their safety and their happiness and their care. But as the adult grows up, the adult realizes, I have to take care of myself. But we can do it easily for material purposes and physical purposes. But what about our emotional maturity, our emotional wellness, where we realize, I need to do it myself and for myself. I can't wait for external things to first change. Like the example I gave earlier about road rage problems, when you flip your coin, when you lose your temper, then it's still the child within you that's responding. Anger management problems, as I said, is a reflection of the past. It's the movie of the past, the program of the past, a record of the past. The child manifesting in the present moment, the past, the future. And once you realize the way I'm going to respond in that traffic when that person behaves in that way, flickering his lights, giving me all the bad signs, the way I'm responding is not because how that person is behaving now. I'm not buying into that person's energy unless I'm still a child. And if I'm still responding like a child, acknowledge it and start taking responsibility for looking at the loop in your life and to becoming aware of all the clusters of limiting beliefs that's holding us back. Okay, awesome stuff, eh? Awesome stuff of how we can bring about the change in our lives. Right, No, I'm just chinking here. Yeah, this past, present. In fact, the past, future. The mind programming, past, future. The predictability that leads us to overthinking. And because of that, the emotional vibrational momentum is very important. As I said, here comes the next point that I've already started to introduce to you, is the resistance to radical self-responsibility. Many of you have been in sessions with me where I teach you about radical acceptance. Tonight I want to introduce to you a new concept, radical self-responsibility. Nobody can make me happy, nobody makes me sad. That person who's throwing me the zap sign in the traffic is not ruining my day. I'm ruining my own day because of my thoughts, belief system that is still responding to the past reality. You see, many people feel more comfortable blaming the external circumstances for their limitations. It's easy. And I've said earlier that everything in your and my reality is only a mere reflection of your vibration. That person at school, at work, who's treating you in certain ways, activating certain emotions to you, now you're going to have to practice a radical self-responsibility by accepting full responsibility for your experience. Listen, I'm repeating tonight, not in a self-blaming way. To look at your circumstances, to realize my circumstances is the sum total of the accumulation of hundreds and thousands of belief systems stuck in my conscious and in my subconscious mind. And I would like to become aware of it. That's radical self-responsibility. Not to blame. Not to blame anyone for your circumstances. And not even to blame yourself, because then you're still in the blame game. Whether you blame someone else or you blame yourself, it means you're judging yourself. And as you judge yourself, you are still stuck in the past-future scenario. But what you're doing is you take your responsibility for your responses and for the situation in an empowered way. This is powerful stuff. We can change our reality then if you understand that your circumstances is not something that's happening beyond your control. It's actually a reflection of your reality. Like last week, I remember when I presented this, my neighbor's baby was crying very loud. And I decided this experience is not going to determine how my state of being will be. I'm going to incorporate it into my broadcast. What a wonderful experience it was. I take a responsibility for my situation in the way I shape my reality. So I want you to become all aware of this skill. This is a new skill in the series. I think tonight we are doing the 9th episode. First time that introducing this concept, namely radical self-responsibility without self-blame. I am responsible for my own happiness. Nobody can make me happy. It's up to me. I can make myself happy. How? Through my state of being. And this is the whole idea of power manifested in your life is a result of your belief system. You see, energy flow from you and I through our belief system. So your energy that you radiate is actually a reflection of your belief system, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And if you and I are willing and ready to dig into our belief system and to deal with that, you can shift immediately. immediately. And one of the belief systems, I just want to give you an example, with road rage and with being offended by what other people think of you, is to have this belief, for instance, that it's none of my business how other people receive my message coming from my authentic self. It's none of my business how other people respond to my message. I'm doing it from my authentic self, from my real self, from my passion, from my deepest desire. Why must I then apologize when I do it from that space? Never. Because I'm doing that, I will have no regret. I will not have to take any offense. If anyone here tonight say, Jeff, what you are teaching here is a bunch of crap, like that other person say, jy is bietjie van jou looitjie getik. Someone said to me 2 weeks ago, because I said everything is happening in the present moment. Remember that? Someone said that to me. I just want to give you the example. It's not troubling me, it's just using an example. Because of what that person think of me is none of my business. It's none of my business how someone else receive my message. When someone take offense of what I do from an authentic position, it's none of my business. But I'm doing it from pure motive. And when I understand that, this reality, you are free. Other people's opinions do not matter, especially when I say or said or did it from my true, authentic self. And that's why so many of you feel you can't be yourself, because yourself, if you're going to be yourself, there will be offense. It's time for you to reach out and let the true you stand up. Let the true, authentic you arise. And that you start to radiate the frequency of your highest truth. It will be drawn to you effortlessly, what resonates with you. Powerful stuff. This is how the law of attraction, by the way, works. But you're going to have to understand there's a spiritual dimension in it, that you and I are eternal beings experiencing ourselves through the illusion of time and space. I'm a spiritual being expressing myself in a physical body. But I'm first an infinite spiritual being. And that's the power. Now, what I want to end tonight, the last 10 minutes, I want to show you that some people say and believe expecting change is very, very hard instead of instantaneous. To change is difficult. I can show you tonight that you can change in the flick of a second if you want to. Only thing that's necessary is an awareness. There's people in this group. You know who you are. You have changed in a second when the lights went on in your mind. And thereafter, you are never will ever go back to the old, of the vomit of the old. You will never go back. Once you tasted pudding, you will not smell the bad stuff. I don't want to swear. Once you taste heaven, you don't want to experience hell ever again. Once you've created heaven in your heart and in your mind, you can step out of hell, that state of being. You see, people believe that change takes time, effort, you need money, and it's a struggle. So that is what they experience, and that then becomes their reality. See, change happens the moment you and I decide to embody a new frequency. First, the emotion of joy, happiness, excitement, and gratitude before it will manifest. First the excitement, then the embodiment, then the realization, then the matter will change. Then you will bend your reality. And here's the solution. Instead of trying to change, you be the version of change in yourself now, of what you think I need to change now. It's just like a person stepping into a boutique, and an hour later the person walks out there with a total new suit, total new attire. And as that person has manifested a new suit, attire that he or she is wearing, they start feeling like that person. They start behaving like the one they want to be. And matter must manifest. They've just bent the future. And this is the power of change in their lives. Okay, now the problem is that so many people, they say stuck. I'm stuck in a situation, being stuck. And I want to just break it down for you tonight. Many of you say, I'm stuck in a situation. And here comes the hope. Stuck is an illusion. It's not a situation. It's a state of mind. No one is ever truly stuck. Rather, we are simply choosing the same beliefs, thoughts, and actions repeatedly, which generates the same experience what I've been sharing with you tonight. And feeling stuck, therefore, is a sign that we are resisting change, holding on to outdated definitions of ourselves, or fearing the unknown. Check there, the last 3 points. If you are stuck, if you feel stuck, check it. You are either resisting change. There's a resistance inside of you that you need to become aware of it. What is that resistance? And then that's causing the suffering. This is what we call the difference between pain and suffering. Or you are still holding on to outdated definitions of yourself, of the past. It's outdated. The way people used to see me a year ago, I'm not that Jeff. I've changed. And I don't buy into that belief of them anymore. It's an outdated definition. That version, I will not downgrade myself. Once you've upgraded a product, a software, you're not going to downgrade it. That's what we many times do. You need the updated version of yourself. That's why people have the illusion of resistance. And then the basic one that I spoke from the slide 1 tonight is the fear of the unknown. And that's why people don't change. They remain stuck because of the fear of the unknown. Okay, so this is what I'm helping you tonight. So there's a solution. Good news, great news, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here tonight. There's a solution. And here it is. If you want to get out of the situation of being stuck, there's 4 points. First, you need to become aware of your limiting beliefs. The average person thinks about up to 70, 80,000 thoughts per day. And 90% of them is exactly the same they thought yesterday. 90% of those 70 to 80,000 thoughts people think per day on a conscious and subconscious level. It's like driving and shifting gears. You're not aware of your thinking. Now that's functional beliefs, but how many dysfunctional beliefs do we have? And this is what you need to become aware of. In our previous episodes, broadcast, there's plenty of them that I've shared with you. The second way how you're going to do it is to follow your highest excitement. Some of you this week said something beautiful on Facebook. You said, my highest desire is I would like to start my own business. I'm dreaming about it. I'm currently going through a very difficult time. And I want to help you tonight. Here it is. You're going to have to follow your highest excitement. This is the reason why you've been born. To follow your highest excitement. Not to go for the second one. The second one, the one that you hate, that job that you hate, that is just paying the bills, which is not your excitement. You're slowly killing yourself. You're going to have to take small steps towards that dream, that idea that excites you. And even before it manifests in reality, you're going to have to feel the excitement and get your business plan together to first shift within the frequency. And that's going to do with your highest excitement, has got to do with the when, the where, the how, and with who. Like when I want to live my highest excitement, when do I want to do it? Where do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? And with who I want to do it? And this is, you're going to have to know every day what's your highest excitements. See, now already immediately you're shifting your limiting belief to the concept of your highest excitement and put it down, and then you go to someone who, for instance, if you want to start that business, get yourself a business plan with the help of an expert. And then thirdly, let go of the resistance of that old way of thinking. Stop fighting the present moment. Stop fighting the present moment. Stop fighting the present moment. The present moment is like nuggets, breadcrumbs coming to you, showing your highest excitement. But many of us, we ignore it and we still walk into the predictable future because of the programming. But I'm saying your highest excitement breaks the code. You're cracking the code. You're crushing the whole system of predictability. The moment when you follow your highest excitement. And now you find your highest excitement in the present moment, and you follow that, and it's a natural path. It's a natural path that just goes smoothly. And because of this, number 4, now you can reframe your perspective. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, you recognize that you are making a choice now, and you can make a new choice. You can look at the situation from a new perspective instead of viewing it as being stuck. Do you get it? Do you get it? Oh, so many of you have joined later on. I've just missed so many of your wonderful comments here tonight, the leap of faith that you need to. Yes. 𝐟𝐫𝐞𝐚𝐬. Yeah, go for it. Yes, this is what you're doing. And Melissa, thank you for inspiring messages. How can I make an appointment to see you? You're seeing me now. It's so great to have you here tonight, Melissa. So yeah, just inbox me. So it's so nice to have you all here, and you can make a change. You can beat diabetes. Before you can beat diabetes, you're going to have to beat the idea of the food that you've been consuming, the lifestyle that you've been living, and to be kind towards yourself. Those of you who are struggling with autoimmune conditions, you're going to have to let go of your perfectionistic beliefs. You have to let go of your feelings of hopelessness. Those belief systems feed on the illness. The illness manifests itself more intensely through those belief systems. I'm taking responsibility for my condition. I'm taking responsibility for the fact that I am in financial trouble. I'm not going to blame anybody else for my condition. You're beating it. You're beating it. If I could beat epilepsy as a child, being for 5 years in a special needs school, being on medications, suffering with ADD, depression, 4 times in my life I tried to commit suicide. If I can change, you can change. It's mind over matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Matter must bend to my reality, my expectations. I don't buy into the lesser self of the old Jeff anymore. I've changed. I've changed. Every moment I'm changing. Every moment there are millions of new realities, millions of possible new realities that you and I can tap into if we want to. You see, it's nice to talk about that other version of Jeff, of the past. As I said, the past is just another version of the present. I can just go to that file if I want to retrieve that file. Oh goodness, I don't want to buy into that stuff anymore. That Jeff doesn't exist. No, file that back into the library. I don't want to take out that book. That reality doesn't gel and resonate with this true, authentic self. I'm not determined anymore by the past. The past doesn't determine me. The past doesn't define me. The present moment through living through my highest excitement, helps me to determine my reality and re-evaluate and redefine your perception of the past. Because the past, just like the future, is only an illusion. The reality is what you prefer to buy in to the belief systems that work for you, that serve you to become the best version of yourself. For instance, not to see as abundance as only money, or to see abundance as a futuristic possibility, a hopeful possibility. You see, abundance is not about money. It's your ability to do the things that you need to do in order to do the things that you need to do. Now, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I lack nothing. That's abundance. If you believe Psalm 23 verse 1, that's your reality. I lack nothing. And that scripture is not lying. That's not a potential of that I lack nothing. It's a reality that you need to believe. And when you believe I lack nothing, this is it. In this moment, listen, is there anything that you lack right now? Goodness. Right now, I lack nothing. But if you think of the future, oh, there's so many things I lack. Come on. When you understand, in the moment, this is where the abundance lies. You can do whatever you need to do right now that you're supposed to do. And that's when we realize that we are masters of our destiny. Because destiny bends according to your reality, your expectation. Because I really want to remind you, I said earlier, that I'm not a physical being having a spiritual experience. I am a spiritual being having a physical experience. My soul is not in my body. My soul, my body is in my soul. I am a living soul. You understand that concept, how powerful you are. And this is when you start create your reality. And I hope that you're going to understand it tonight, that you create, actually, you and I are creating our reality 100% of the time, whether you realize it or not. Through your thoughts, conscious or subconsciously, you are creating your reality. You want to change it? Change your thinking. Become aware of your limiting beliefs. 2 weeks ago, we spoke about the limiting beliefs that fuels anxiety. The limiting beliefs that fuels uncertainty of the future. All of those things. We can change it if we want to, only because we become aware. And that question that Ilse first asked, how can I help someone? You can't. I cannot help someone. I cannot heal you. You heal yourself. You heal yourself. It's even biblical. Jesus said once, by your faith you are healed. I'm not healing you. By your faith has healed yourself. If you don't have faith, nothing will happen. Your belief system is your problem. And if you acknowledge that, we call it, hello, radical self-responsibility. We can do it. Let's embrace it. And I want to encourage you tonight. Let's start with a small way. Start it in a minor way, not in the big stuff. Unless you want, okay? Some of you have just jumped into the big stuff, Mari. I know you did it. You just jumped into the big stuff and it manifested. Now, that's what faith happens. When you have faith and you jump in the big stuff, faith will never fail you. And if anyone wants to speak to Mari, she's a living example of it. She's not the same person that I knew her a year ago. So it's matter because you don't see yourself in that old version of yourself anymore. And before you can see the new, experience the new version, you first need to experience the new version before it manifests. Okay, do you get it? I hope that tonight was really a wonderful time here tonight for you, that you are learning. Listen, this broadcast is recorded. It will also show on Facebook and also on the YouTube channel. So listen to it, share it with other people. And I'm so excited to see more and more people are joining this platform on a Sunday evening. Every Sunday evening, I'm here to share more and more. It's like more and more we're unfolding, more and more nuggets we are taking out of the box, full of surprises every time. And this is the excitement of this journey that we are on together here. If you want to learn more, you are so welcome. Yes, I now need a little bit of it's only water. If you want to learn more, you can go to my website, and my website there is very much available there on the screen, where my books are also available, and where you can also, if you would like to listen to my podcasts, my daily podcasts, there are plenty of them that's available, hundreds of them, about managing anxiety and all the aspects of change and transformation, personal development. If you want to learn more and grow, and you are seriously committed towards changing yourself to become the better version of yourself. Yes, so glad to have you all here tonight. Thank you for your wonderful, wonderful openness here tonight, and your vulnerability that many of you shared tonight. And making yourself vulnerable here tonight is bravery. I really respect that. If you say, Jav, I'm struggling, because here you will never be judged. If you say to me, Jav, I'm stuck, despite of what you've heard tonight, I'm with you. We understand. We will help you at that point where you still feel like that, vulnerable. And through these teachings, you will learn to become the best version of yourself, not the one of yesterday. You need to learn to love yourself unconditionally. The other day I was speaking to someone who had a near-death experience after the person went through a terrible ordeal. And the person said, I just saw the light of unconditional love. And I thought, I'm such a bad person. How will I experience now? Who am I to deserve this love after what I did to myself and to others? I said, that is the light that you saw in your near-death experience. You will never, ever be the same again once you saw the light. And then you actually realized you are the light. You don't have to walk into the light. Many people, when they have a near-death experience, they see a tunnel and then they walk into the light. But when you are the light and you step over, you don't have to walk into the light. You are the embodiment, the manifestation of light. You don't have to feel the light. And when that person heard that message, she said, I will never, ever be the same again. I will never, ever try to take my life again, because I saw the light of unconditional love. And I am that light. And tonight I want to encourage you. You are the light. You don't have to lighten up. It is inside of you. Just open your eyes so that you can see the light is in you. And therefore, when you see the light, the change will happen automatically. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to express finally my deepest gratitude to each and every one here tonight for tuning in on a Sunday evening. My heart really is full of joy and gratitude for your presence here tonight. Thank you so much. May it be a blessed week for you.